Hi guys, welcome to Sippin Spillin with 3 Mississippi. Happy Wednesday. Wednesdays are good days because Wednesdays we get to talk to you guys twice, because on Wednesday night we do our live on 3 Mississippi. So we've got that coming up tonight. So I'll make sure you set your little reminder for that so you can join us this evening and hang out and chat. Hopefully you went out and voted yesterday and did your civic duty.
Hopefully you voted for the right people.
Hopefully. We'll see.
We need it.
We need it, yep. Yeah, we had Frankie's, we got home kind of late last night.
We did.
Us, for a school night, we got home late because Frankie had a choir concert last night. So we didn't get home till...
It was her first, like, outside of church, it was like her first public, like, on-stage experience, wasn't it?
In Mississippi.
At singing, not dancing.
No, she did the school play last year. It was a musical and she sang.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Whatever. Whatever.
Anyway, yeah,
she was front row.
And she was very, she was in the zone. She was she was on it. We were very proud of her. She did very well.
Watching that.
Oh yeah,
conductor.
she was on it, serious face. Like she was all about it. Yeah, so we went and got some potting soil last night while because we had to drop her off early because her call time, because she's fancy, was earlier than the show. So we had time to run to Walmart because he needed some potting soil for some seed starts.
Yeah, so I am going to be, I was not going to start a garden until spring. But then, I had to have garlic. So the garlic got started and it's doing well.
Yeah, it's popping up.
Yeah, garlic's popping up. And then somebody that we go to church with that is also like friends, gave me, I haven't counted them, but it's probably upwards of 100 bare root strawberry plants. And it's about half and half. It's 2 varieties. One of the varieties is what they classify as a Juneberry. If you plant it in the fall, then it will produce kind of like a determinate, like all at once crop around June. And then the other variety, it's probably about half, is a everbearing, but you can still plant it in the fall. It'll get started a little earlier, but it'll produce throughout the growing season and into the fall. So I'm kind of excited about that, and I want to get them in the ground. So I thought, well, if I'm going to go prepare a piece of ground to be able to plant the strawberries, then should I not also plant a few other things that can do well in the wintertime?
And I said
like
yes.
Collards and kale and Swiss chard, and these are all things that we love.
That we eat, like, often.
That we eat a lot.
Yeah, and some of those things, I will say this. I know a lot of you have asked, like, oh, what do you miss about California? Well, do you even miss it? The only thing so far that I would say that I miss is the availability of different kinds of greens.
Yeah, I did have a well-established garden.
Yeah, and so that, and if there was something that he wasn't growing, I could still get it at the store, or I knew somebody that was growing it that I could go get it. Just because California's climate and being such a big agriculture state, there's a lot of availability, and it's fresh because it's not traveling as far.
Right.
So that, I would say, so far, that's probably the thing I miss.
But that will change.
But that will change because he's going to grow.
Because I'll have...
Yeah.
Yeah, once I get them...
All this is just temporary.
Once I get them started, we'll have them all the time. I mean, the collards, all these things slow down in the wintertime, but they can handle the cold. And I ordered some frost blankets and and I'm going to build some hoops. Not like low tunnels, not like plastic tunnels, just some frost tunnels, and put them over the strawberries, as well as so the reason we stopped at Walmart to get potting soil, obviously I didn't move any of my potting soil with me, and I haven't had time to start my compost operation and start making any, so I had to buy potting soil.
We have a little pile going, but it's not, we just got here. There's not enough time for it to really, do its thing.
So I want to get some kale, collards, Probably some brassicas, like maybe Brussels sprouts
Or you can
and
do some Swiss chard.
Swiss chard.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start a whole bunch of seeds, like in the next day or two.
Yeah.
And hope that I have time to get those seeds up and out before it gets too cold, so that they can get a little bit of roots established. I know it's late for that, but
Well, according
it
to
doesn't
what
hurt
everybody
anything.
said, we should be okay.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt anything to try.
Like, yeah.
Seeds are cheap.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I'm investing that much money. You know, all the frost blankets and hoops and everything else
That's
that I'm
all
doing,
reusable.
that's all going to be reusable. So we're just talking about a little potting soil and a little seeds and a little bit of electricity for my heat mats for germination, and we have an experiment. Can we start growing in November seeds that we then put out in the garden? Why not try?
Why not try? I mean, I know, you know, that's how you're supposed to do your peppers and stuff too, right? Is because they take forever. You're supposed to start them early and then.
I start my peppers indoors like 12 weeks before the last frost.
Yeah.
My tomatoes like 8 weeks before the last frost.
Yeah. And then
so-
the microgreens, we're getting into microgreens like heavy tear. I mean, you could do microgreens
Yeah.
all year long, but we tend to do them when
it's cooler.
Yeah, when it's cooler, when we can't be growing the stuff in the ground that we want, because not that the microgreens are a pain to do in the trays, but it's a little bit more babying, a little bit more.
It's a
more
lot harder
labor
when it's
intensive.
hot.
Yeah.
I don't ever grow microgreens in the summertime, just because I don't want to.
Wilty.
Yeah, I don't want to like air condition a room to grow them in, and I don't need to, because generally speaking, I have enough living greens growing in the garden.
Yeah.
But as it cools down here in the next few weeks, I will definitely be starting some trays of microgreens under grow lights in the shop, and that will be our living greens through the winter.
But then, and then again, everybody says here too, the way that it's funny because like while there's more weather here, because we're kind of like on a straight line from where we were almost, there's more weather here in a sense that I guess you could say like it's more, not extreme, but there's more variety of weather. However, the same thing is true where it's like one day it'll be 80 degrees and the next day it'll be 20 degrees, and that might be in December. Like I've had a lot of people tell me that.
I'll be surprised if it's that extreme.
I've had people tell me that there's some years that on Christmas it's 80 degrees, t-shirt and shorts, and then some years it's snowing on Christmas.
I mean, it's 72 degrees, 75 degrees right now.
It's nice out right now.
It's nice right now.
It's really nice out
But
right now.
there's a forecast starting tomorrow. It's supposed to start getting cold.
Yeah.
And which is good, because I'm hoping that sometime in the next several days, Frankie and I get a chance for her to actually go out and try to deer hunt.
Yeah.
She still hasn't been out. I don't even know if she finished her course. I think she got down to the last module, and we weren't going hunting, so she didn't finish it.
Well, that, and then like last night we weren't home because of the thing. I forget what happened Monday.
And then
Something
tonight she
happened
has
Monday.
youth group.
Tonight she's got youth group, so
So she
we'll
needs
see.
to finish her course Friday night.
Yeah. Well, she
She's-
might be able to finish it
Yeah.
tomorrow.
She has one, to my
She's
knowledge,
having
she has
kids
one module left in her hunter safety course. And we have a lot to do this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot. But we still might
Try
get
to
a couple hours of hunting.
get
in.
up early and get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the trail cams, I've caught deer out there in the middle of the day, but it's not consistent. It's consistently that first hour after sunrise and that first hour before sunset. So
Well, and I almost wonder, like the deer that we normally see, like right back here and in the front yard, we haven't been seeing for the last like 2 weeks.
no, their patterns have changed.
So their patterns have changed drastically, and I told them, I was like, I wonder if it's like a because as you get closer to rut and everything, and them going into estrus, I was like, I wonder if just like with barnyard animals, they change their behavior a little bit and their patterns shift. And I was like, I feel like that's happening right now, and it was like right when hunting season was like fixing to start. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, their
I mean,
patterns
you still
do
might
shift
find them.
pre-rut, and then they shift again during the rut.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is they still have to eat.
That's true.
And, deer need food, water, and cover. None of those things are more important or less important than the other. And if you have all three of those things, and you know where all three of those things are, you're gonna have deer.
Right.
So.
Well, and I mean, you see them all the time out here. I mean, you have to be really, I don't know, deer blind to not notice how many deer there are out in this area.
Right.
Like you see them driving, just, oh, there's a deer. Oh, there's a deer in that yard. Like, there's just always deer. It doesn't matter what time of day, you always see them. And they don't seem to be particularly skittish deer. Like, they're just used to kind of cohabitating with the people. So I feel like it's not, I mean, not like you could like walk up and pet them, but like they don't freak out the minute you open your front door and walk out on your porch. They just kind of look at you and go, cool, I'm eating pears.
Yeah.
Like they don't
I mean,
really,
the big bucks are skittish. You don't see those.
A little
How many big bucks have you seen?
I've only seen that one smaller buck that came through with that, like the family that we had. Yeah.
The only big bucks you've seen have been on the deer cam.
That's true.
The game camera. They are more skittish.
I see big bucks at home all the time.
That's right. Yeah. So, but we have our plot set up. Mm-hmm. We have our feeder out.
And your tent? They don't call it a tent. They call it a deer blind. Because the deer are blind.
We have our blind set out.
I call it their tent.
We have all of our hunting clothes
in a bag.
In an unscented bag with some clippings from cedar trees. So everything's ready for when we're actually gonna go.
Yeah.
We have our little stools and a tripod actually out in the blind. So we don't have to be carrying a bunch of stuff and making a bunch of noise when we go out. We're ready to go.
Yeah, they can just take the GoPro, I guess, and clip it on there.
Yeah, GoPro and a rifle, and obviously I have to document her first time. Whether she gets anything or not, we have to document it as well as possible. So
yeah,
I want to be able to set the GoPro up in the stand at her, and then I'll have my phone. If anything comes out, I'll be able to film it with my phone, hopefully, when she takes the shot. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
See how well I do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so just a ton that we have to do this weekend. And we'd
little
like
odds
to
and ends of things that we want to, like, start and work on. And so, yeah, hopefully, I know she wants to go. Yeah. I know she wants to go hunting. So
we'd like to go deer hunting. Yeah. But there are things that we have to get done. We have to lay out the 24 by 24 square on the ground and paint the ground so that we can call Neil out to dig it.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? So he can come dig that footing. That has to happen this weekend so that he can dig that next week.
Well, I feel like if you guys get up early Saturday morning and go hunt, because here's the thing, we don't have any meat that we're raising right now, so I feel like it is a priority for you guys to try to get out there and whack a deer. So I feel like if you guys get up and do that first thing Saturday morning, and then if you don't get anything, then you come back earlier and we start that project. Or if you do get something, we start that project a little later because you've had to
dress a deer out.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like putting that in the freezer is important.
I agree. My struggle is this. Frankie will only get her first deer one time.
Right.
So if I put any pressure on her at all about putting meat in the freezer.
No, don't tell. I'm not telling her that. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, I want her, when that doe walks out, that's going to walk out, inside of her range, I want her to be able to pass on it.
Listen.
I want her to say, nope, I want my first doe to be, my first deer to be a buck.
Okay.
If she wants to, and I want to be okay with that.
Well, here's the thing. You can't win the lotto if you don't play. So she got 0 chances of getting a deer if you all don't get your butts out there.
Right. I just don't want you to get your hopes up about putting meat in the freezer on our first hunt. Because
it is not me getting my hopes up. It is me having faith in my daughter's ability.
I have no issue with her ability. I taught her to shoot.
I know. She's a very good shot.
If the deer that she wants presents itself, it's going in the freezer.
Right.
I think she's gonna pass on some deer.
That's okay. I'm not pressuring her to do it. I just feel like you'll never get any deer y'all don't go out there.
That's a true story.
So that's that's my point, is we have zero opportunity to put meat in the freezer if 0 shots are ever taken. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not trying to pressure her to, it's not like we can't get meat. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm out here foraging for berries, all right? I'm just saying,
I mean, once
it'd be nice to have something that we harvested off our land, and it would be really cool if she was the first one to harvest something off our land.
That would be so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm going to give her plenty of time to get the first deer off of our property.
No, we have lots of time.
I mean, I won't let deer season close without putting a couple does in the freezer if I have to. But I'm going to give her all of the possible available time to get the first deer, and the one that she wants to be her first deer. And then after that, she'd probably put a couple more does in the freezer this year. I mean, I've done the math. I think we can probably eat 4 or 5 deer.
Yeah. Between
making summer sausage, making burgers, and then canning some of it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about doing that. I'm excited because I think that's going to be good.
And I was talking to Tim from Ridge Life yesterday, had a long conversation with him on the phone, and he makes some really good steaks out of the sirloins in the rumps.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he was telling me the recipe. I'm not going to say what he was telling me because I don't know if it's top secret or not. But it's about a 10-day process that I'm all about.
Okay.
So
he's like aging them, or? Well, I guess I can't say. Okay. Sorry.
I don't think you understand how top secret works.
Clearly not. Good thing I don't have the Nuke codes. Anyway. I'd be like, yeah, it starts with a 3. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anywho.
There's a special character in there and some caps. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Don't worry, Russia. She's got the codes. She won't remember them in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, so.
I'm a hoot.
But yeah, we want the chicken coop laid out so we can get that dug. I really do need to build that workbench in the shop.
Yeah.
So that I can get some tools organized, and I want to build a small lid for your temporary chicken brooder.
Yeah, I agree.
Because right now we're using one of our screens off the house, and it's like a custom size and shape.
Yeah,
and I don't want it to get damaged.
Yeah, I mean it's fine, but yeah, I agree.
And then I need to also fashion some sort of a temporary compost bin. I think I'm going to take some of this wire. There's some old like concrete reinforcement wire around here that the previous owner used for making tomato cages. I think I'm just going to put some of that in a circle, 3 or 4 foot circle.
And make a bin?
And make kind of a bin out of it, because we're starting to get a decent amount of, between the coffee grounds and the vegetable clippings out of the house and the eggshells and all that. And then now we have this giant oak tree in the backyard that has begun to shed on the yard. And so obviously I need to get all those leaves up off the grass. And I want to compost them. That's a lot of dirt. I mean, that's amazing dirt.
Right. That
those leaves make. So
there's so many acorns down there too.
Yeah.
You can, if you sit over by that tree, you can just hear them plopping. Plop,
you better
plop,
wear a hat.
Plop. Yeah, like you just hear them constantly. Like, it's
and we have, over on one of my deer plots, there is a white oak variety. I forget what it's called specifically. I think it's called like a swamp or a water or something like that. I think you called it
a water oak on one of the videos that I was editing.
It has longer, rounder lobes. Anyway, the acorns are like 1.25 inches, big acorns. And last time I went and checked on that deer plot, I kind of walked the perimeter of it to see what kind of traffic was coming in and from what side and where the deer were coming in. And as I got to the back edge of it, I started walking on all these big old acorn caps and a couple of acorns, but mostly acorn caps. And I realized that thing's dropping right now, which is a little earlier than when I thought that thing would be dropping. It's probably just starting to drop. So hopefully it continues to drop over the next week or two and gets into rifle season, because those deer love those.
Yeah.
They love them. They'll eat the red oak acorns if that's all that's available, but they're higher in tannins than the white oak acorns.
It's like red wine.
Right.
Aged in oak barrels.
So if the white oak acorns are available, they'll go to those first. So it's nice to know that I've got a big white oak dropping acorns, and it's actually right on the edge of one of my food plots. So
yeah.
That's kind of a bonus that I didn't realize.
How is your food plot doing? Is it sprouting happily?
It's sprouting. Yeah. It's well, it's beyond sprouting. It's growing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I don't check his. I mean, I have driven back there on my side by side, but he told me not to get too close to it because he didn't want me to make the deer scared. So I go way out the other side, and then like,
yeah,
you know, so it's like way far away. So I couldn't really tell. I could tell it was a different color than the rest of the pasture,
like a brighter green.
Yeah, but I was like, and there was also a lot of oak leaves out there. I noticed on that patch, because of the tree being kind of. There's that big oak tree just kind of, you know.
Yeah.
But
I may actually take a quick ride out there after we get done filming, just to get a half tank. Just get within, you know, visual distance of it, and
take your binoculars.
Take a look. Although I should check the corn feeder.
Yeah.
I may, you know what I might do? I might just grab some corn, throw it in the back of the Polaris, and take the Polaris
It probably needs
instead of
refilled
this.
because it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I
probably
bet you it
does.
does. I bet you it does.
Yeah.
I told you. I even said, I was like, what if it gets windy and you let it get empty? We don't let it get empty. That was the answer I got. I'm like, it's probably empty by now because you haven't been out there.
I'll go check it. I'll take some corn with me.
Right.
And we should probably buy some more corn. I think I only have one bag left.
Wow. That's nice. I need to get more chicken feed anyway. I need to go do that at some point.
Where do you prefer to get your chicken feed?
Well, I haven't gotten like whatever official chicken feed I'm gonna get yet, so I've just been getting the one at the livestock grocery. So,
He's got deer corn.
Yeah, I know. But let's see, I don't know when I have time to do it because they close. They're open weird hours sometimes, so I have to always check before I go. So.
Well, I mean, Walmart has deer corn if it's urgent.
Yeah, but I can't get my chicken feed there.
Well, that's not at the top of my priority list, your chicken feed.
See what I have to put up with, people? You see?
Well, we have to go to Tupelo pretty soon.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Well, if I take him to too many places, then the whole day is gone because he gets very like, it's like when I take them both grocery shopping with me, it takes 4 times as long and we spend 4 times as much versus if I just go by myself.
But that's when we get the good stuff.
That's what he and Frankie think. That's when they buy all the junk that I don't normally let them buy or that I don't normally bring home.
Ooh, tortillas.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's make some quesadillas.
Oh boy. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Don't forget tonight we do go live at 6 p.m. Central on 3 Mississippi. So we hope you will come back and hang out with us this evening, and we will see you tonight, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.